computer. Perfect. Turn it up, just sort my hair out, and then we'll get started. Sorry I'm a bit late. So not only were we having technical difficulties, Lucas decided to come and said he needed more milk, which is great. The joys. I'll tell you something, I cannot wait for half term to be bloody over with. Are we all good though? Like I said, I know there's a few people who've messaged saying they couldn't make it tonight. So thank you, Lauren and Celia, for joining. I'm just going to message them all now saying if anyone wants to join, and then I'll get straight into it. So, this evening I've decided to do just seeing some people in the chat. Oh yeah, do you know what? It has been really different the half term. Some have started like this week and some have started next week. It's all really, really bizarre. Um, so I hope everyone's eventually gets through it whenever the end. But half term's really, really difficult, especially when continuing trying to stay on track, trying to be in a usual routine. So I'm here to clarify if you're getting to the end of half term, if your half term starts next week, try not to be perfect because it is so difficult trying to maintain your usual routine when the kids are off. And sometimes during half term, we really beat ourselves up for not being able to prep our meals, not being able to go to the gym, not being able to do our exercise, which I'm saying from my point of view, it's absolutely normal. I've had a crap week, you know, it's been really, really hard. Um, it's been really, really hard trying to get to some form of normal routine. So if your half term starts next week, please be mindful that it's okay not to have a perfect week. And I always say this every single week and every check-in, like we don't strive for perfection in the academy. We just strive to do our best each week. So if you can go into next week when your half term is knowing that as long as you can give your best, whatever that best may be, whether it's even like making small achievable goals just for that week, and look at your week and think, right, realistically, when could I do a workout? If I can't do a workout, what could I do instead of? Could I take the kids out for a walk if the weather's not crap? Can I just focus on, just admit some? Is there any chance of, you know, drinking more water, eating more nutrient dense food? So I really, really want you to just focus on not striving for perfection. And it's okay for things to be a little bit out of routine next week or obviously whenever your half term finishes. So for today's Zoom, I thought it was really good because obviously the academy is a really, really good community at the moment. I'm loving that people are not only sharing the wins, but they're also sharing the struggles. So obviously, Carly from the academy really struggled with balance and really struggled with emotions not taking over on a fat loss journey. So I thought it was a great opportunity to focus the Zoom on that. So not only will that support Carly when she watches it back because she couldn't join us tonight, but also it'll support other people as well because it is really hard trying to find balance in things and not letting certain emotions take over as well. So in this Zoom, we're going to be talking about how to find balance and learn how to manage our emotions so they don't take over and derail our progress. Um, so hopefully people will really, really find this really beneficial. So let's just face it, when we're on a fat loss journey, it's not just about calories in, calories out. There's a lot more that goes behind the scenes, doesn't it? Um, and for some reason, my other laptop has died, which is great. Won't be a sec. So yeah, it's not all about calories in, calories out. There's a lot of other things that we need to have in order to make the process a lot easier. And a lot of that is, oh, I don't know what my laptop's doing. And a lot of that is being able to manage our emotions and trying to find that balance as well. So I'm just gonna get my laptop because the other one's died and I've got a script that I've written up and it doesn't seem to be doing it. We're having a fantastic start to tonight's bloody Zoom, aren't we? There we go. Just make sure that here we go. Right. I won't be a sec, guys. This is really unprofessional, but I'm just gonna get my charger. I'm back. Sorry. Just need to get. Honestly, I write up these scripts, but the laptop's died on me, so I'm gonna have to change you over. There we go. Won't be a sec. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Just trying to. Do you know when it's just been one of those days? Bloody hell. We've got Jess, who's new to the academy, thinking, Jesus Christ, is this lady for real? But this is just my life, Jess. Nothing ever bloody quite goes well. I've got Lauren laughing. Feel like we need to stop recording and start again. Right, we're back. Bloody hell. So, with everything else, like I said, it's not versus calories in, calories out. There's, we've got emotions, we've got lifestyle changes, and sometimes it can just feel like really overwhelming. So today, we're exploring balance and strategies to be able to handle our emotions. So, like at the start of every Zoom, I want you to take a moment just to kind of reflect reflect on yourself. What is going on with today? I think we should start again. Bloody hell, who wants to start this Zoom again? So I want you to take a moment. Can everyone still see me? As long as you can still see me, it's fine. So have there been moments where emotions or life, stress, anything have impacted your progress? Just write it in the chat below. Oh, we've got likes. Celia, thank you for the love. I'm bloody needing it this tonight. For your information, Jess, Zooms are not usually like this, and you'll see when you look back on the videos, they're not usually this chaotic. So has anyone ever had any emotions, stress, anything like that that's impacted their progress or has made them completely fall off track or being able to continue with a certain, whether it was slimming world in the past, whether it's like motivation in the gym? So Celia's saying yeah. Anything else? Feel free to share in the chat or always. So yeah, it can be really, really hard, especially when those emotions get to the best of us as well. And it can be anything. And a lot of people, especially in the academy, have overcome certain kind of struggles at the moment. It can be something that happens suddenly. It can be a bereavement in the family. It can be stress. And prime example, the kids off for half term. I don't know about anyone else, but my cortisol levels and stress levels are like up here. And that can really reduce our motivation and it can make us kind of derail our progress a little bit. So let's talk about balance because that was the one thing that did kind of come up, especially with Carly's problem this week. So what does it actually mean finding the balance when it comes to fat loss? So we often hear about extreme diets, and I'm going to honestly, when before obviously I started New Year with Kayla, I was that person that chased kind of extreme diets and kind of chased skinny. I couldn't be bothered, didn't really go to the gym. I just wanted that fat loss quick within 6 weeks, and I would have done absolutely anything in order to pursue that. Whether and at the moment it's these weight loss injections, which obviously have just been on the news, people getting ill, people fainting, and has anyone else chased a certain fad diet, shakes, Herbalife? I'm trying to think of other ones. Obviously weight loss injections at the moment, like Cambridge, definitely shakes. Yep. So we've all done it. We have all absolutely tried to kind of exchange, like chase fad diets and exercise plans. And I think that kind of has created an all or nothing mindset because we've done, I think our generation has always chased fad diets, and it's never actually got to the root of the problem. We've never learned from it. It's just been quick fad diet, lose probably a load of weight, which most of us probably did, lose, lost quite a lot of weight, to then it's not actually got to the root of the problem. It's not actually allowed us to overcome them or build strategies in order to do that. So then we just get this all or nothing mindset. Oh, it's not worked, so I'm going to give it, I'm going to pack it in. So hopefully with this journey, you'll start to realize how we can overcome certain struggles, how we can create balance, and how we can not let emotions take over as well. So, to me, or I'm actually going to put it to you in the comments, if I was to say balance to you, what does that mean to you when you're on a fat loss journey? Balance. What if you wanted a balanced approach to fat loss? What would that mean to you? It might be interesting. Yeah, Celia, high losses at first with shakes, but not maintainable. Definitely. But what would you say would be balance? You could see some people are typing. Like, still enjoying a social life, 100%, Lauren. I'm all for a social life. I promote that on my socials. I promote that at the weekend. Some coaches don't agree with that, maybe. They think you should, don't drink alcohol. But to me, it is about still being able to enjoy life while still losing weight. Same, still living. Yep, definitely. So I think everyone's idea of balance is exactly the same. We want to be able to enjoy our lives, but also still make progress. And there's loads of strategies that we can learn in order to do that. Everyone in the academy, everyone, all my one-to-one clients know about banking calories, how it's all about planning ahead for these events and making sure, reducing our calories throughout the week to ensure that we can enjoy ourselves the weekend. That is balance. And it's not also the foods that you're eating. Like, most people who join the academy think, I've not eaten foods like this before. Even who join my coaching, they'll thought, oh, I thought it was just chicken, broccoli and rice. No, that's not balanced to me. That is not sustainable. And obviously my approach is a sustainable diet. It doesn't feel like you're on a diet. For one, you're eating amazing food. And obviously it's just being more mindful and making those choices and having that 80-20 lifestyle as well. So balance means enjoying life and also being able to stick to your goals, because that is what we want. We don't want the all or nothing mindset. We don't want to be doing these kind of fad diets, these quick fixes. Like, we know we're on a journey, and this journey isn't just how quickly we can lose weight. We are changing our lifestyle. We are changing the habits that we've kind of rooted for many, many years, and we're trying to change those habits. So by being able to change those habits, it's going to take time. And as long as you've got the mindset of, I know this isn't a quick fix, I know it's going to take time, and you have that in your mind and make yourself achievable goals, you will find this process a hell of a lot easier. And sometimes we do kind of chase a number on the scale. We are chasing a goal weight. But how do you know when you get to that goal weight that you're going to feel amazing? You might feel amazing, when, before you've reached that goal weight. So just try and make small, achievable goals on this journey. And try and, like I say, it's about progress over perfection. And I must, you hear me say this every single week on the Zooms. We never strive for perfection in the academy. We strive for progress. So if that's, next week during half term, you've managed to only do 2 exercises, or you've drank your water every day, even if you jump on the scales and you've only had, half a pound loss, that is still progress. People who checking, oh, I'm a little bit disappointed, only lost 0.3 kilos, it's a loss. It's a loss. No matter how small or how big it is, it's still progress and it's still moving in the right direction. So if you are like over restricted with your diet, which no one is on this academy at all, or with my one-to-one clients, no one is restrictive, or if you push yourself too hard or set yourself unrealistic goals, it can really backfire and it can make you lose interest, lack motivation, and it can lead to burnout, it can lead to binge eating. And to be honest with you, just giving up altogether. And that's not what we want. We don't want that burnout. We want to take small steps. And this is where I know some people say, do I have to aim for that 10k steps every single day? And it's like, well, if you're only averaging 2,000, jumping from 2,000 steps to 10,000, it's like, since it's a lot to get 10,000. So start small. If you're averaging 2,000, increase to 3,000 or even 2,500. Then the week after, increase it. And then the week after, increase it so that it's not a massive jump and it's not going to cause burnout. Because as much as we love, a fat loss and we get on a diet or we get started, like, on a new fat loss journey, we do have the motivation's up here. But if we say when we're starting journey, right, I'm going to do 5 workouts a week, I'm going to drink all my water, I'm going to prep everything, I'm going to eat this, this, and this, and this, I'm going to get my 10,000 steps, I'm like, that can totally lead to burnout. And then that's where I think people think, I can't keep up with this, I can't sustain this, I'm just going to give up. Especially if they get on the scales and it says they've gone up or they've maintained, they think, well, that's a load of shit, that doesn't work. So then they obviously pack it in. So obviously just making sure that you just set yourself realistic goals, especially when starting out, which most of you are anyway. And even if you feel like the first few weeks haven't kind of gone to plan, focus on what you've done. The fact that you've bloody stayed on this journey for, 6 weeks, you haven't given up. But that is an amazing thing to tell yourself as well. And I'm certain, even though maybe, I don't know, you haven't got the results that you've wanted within the 6 weeks, there's definitely other things that you could be definitely proud of. That you're eating more nutrient dense foods, eating healthier, you're trying to move that little bit more, you're drinking your water. These are all massive wins which kind of get overshadowed by chasing a certain number and chasing a certain weight. But always kind of just look back on the progress that you've made. And like I say, you might have a week that you don't work out as much, that things don't go to plan. And I guarantee if it's your half term this week or next week, you're going to feel that, because I'm feeling it myself. You might eat something off plan because you've had to nip out with kids and just grab something on the go. You might have a social event coming up, and that's okay. So the key is how we respond to these moments, okay? So why does finding balance matter on a fat loss journey? It's good for sustainability. If the approach is kind of too rigid, it's harder to stick to, and we're not going to maintain it. And obviously, it doesn't make the journey sustainable, which is all what I preach. I preach that we want the diet to be sustainable, that you can enjoy and you can progress week in, week out. Not only that, balance is good for our mental health. Like I say, balance helps you maintain a healthier relationship with food, a healthier relationship with exercise, and your body as well. So obviously making sure that that's why balance is really good for that. Flexibility. I don't know about anyone else, but my life is very unpredictable. Things can happen, very spontaneously. Half term especially, you have to be flexible, you have to work around your kids, sometimes work, you have to be flexible, and just by having that balance allows you to adapt things if they don't go perfectly. So just make sure that you allow yourself to be flexible, and don't be hard on yourself if you do. And the other thing for balance is enjoyment. Like, when you're balanced and you're living that 80-20 lifestyle, you get to go out to social events because you plan ahead for them. You're eating, 80% of the time you're eating nutrient dense foods, you're drinking your water, you're moving more. That 20% of the time where you go out for social events, bottomless brunches, family meals, it's okay to have that occasional treat without feeling guilty. Like, those are the moments that mean more than, macros. I always say memories over macros. Now, obviously, if you are someone who's quite a social butterfly and goes out every single weekend, I'm not saying that's not going to get you progress, but it's just going to slow the progress down. And obviously, it just means every week you'll be reducing calories and then consuming them at the weekend, which is kind of like not a good habit to get into. However, it isn't impossible. So I'm just mentioning that because obviously we've got, how many weeks is it to Christmas? Is it like, sure we're in like, are we in single digits yet? I hope we're not because I haven't even sorted it out. But you know, we're gonna have festive events coming up. You're going to be going out a hell of a lot more. So it's also important to remember that over the festive period, which only happens one like few times a year, especially from going over December. So just making sure that you plan ahead for Christmas. Um, but and I always say this, you're going to be in a better position now when it comes to January, when all those people are on the new year, new me, starting. Just think of all the habits and healthy habits you'll have implemented up till then. So when it comes to January, and you will have that motivation, right? New year, let's get going. You've already implemented habits that people are only just starting to do. So you're going to find when it comes to like, you know, when it comes to New Year, a hell of a lot easier. Um, so is there um, anything that you felt when it comes to managing your emotions, anything that you've struggled with physically or emotionally that have impacted you recently? If you let me know in the comments. So anything that has affected you physically, anything that's affected you emotionally. People typing. It could be work, it could be anything, like I say, anything physically that's you're struggling with at the moment. Oh God, don't. I know, Lauren, little boy, um, terrible twos and constant arguing with his sassy. I think me and you, Lauren, are living the exact same life because it's that. And do you know what? I am going to say this now. Like, I do, like, find sometimes to just go in a room. And this is really, but sometimes I find myself in the toilet and I lock myself in there. I just need like 5 minutes. And it can be so hard. And people probably think I'm absolutely mad, and you can hear them in the background like kicking off and everything. I'm like, I just need 5 minutes. And do you know what, it's hard, and there have been days, even today has been a prime example. I've been so stressed to the point where I've been like, do you know what, really don't want to work out today. And it's kind of my mindset today of being so stressed and so like overwhelmed with just being off with the kids, which is really bad. I should be grateful, but it's really hard when you're working. And that has completely impacted my session today. It really has. And that can impact how you eat. It can trigger all those emotional feelings that we spoke about, those about emotional eating. It can so trigger you to kind of get rid of that cortisol, that stress, and think that I just need to eat something that's going to make me feel better. Or it can, like, even I like honestly have days like that where you find yourself snacking or you find yourself affecting your workout, your session. So please, like, don't feel like um you know you're just on your own basically, because you're not. Like, I completely, like Lauren, like I'm with you 100%, like to the point where I text David tonight saying I'm gonna kill your kids. Like, I'm genuinely going to strangle them. And he's like, oh, come going, just breathe. I'm like, I'm trying to breathe. But so Lauren, my advice to you is just kind of say, just do the best that you can. Like, they are going to drive you crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Lucas, he's 3 and I feel like he's still going through the terrible twos. And so I'm really sorry if that's gonna put you with utter fear. But he's nearly 4 and he is still, testing. But all I can suggest to you is just do the best that you can. Just try and set yourself achievable goals. Try not to be perfect. And just do, whether it's just drinking more water, getting out with the kids walking, just do honestly, just small achievable goals next week. Jess, health problems have caused me a lot of issues recently. so I can't seem to get the right balance of the exercise side of things. And that can be really hard. Like there's so many, like I don't know if it's like a personal illness for you, Jess, but there's so many like bugs, like COVID, I think is making its way around, lots of coughs and the flu. This kind of, and not only that, it's bloody miserable as winter. You go out to work and it's bloody dark. You come home and it's bloody dark. Clocks go back next week, so we lose an hour in bed. Like it's just grim. Like it is so hard. It's grim, and it's not the nicest kind of time, especially to keep yourself motivated, keep yourself consistent, and that can be really tricky. But with you, Jess, if there are kind of any health problems that you need to personally mention to me, and we just need to tweak certain things with your plan, with your nutrition, just drop me a message, and obviously we can just tweak things for you. But that can also be really hard when trying to find the balance. And again, if I can, obviously just let me know, Jess, and obviously if we need to tweak anything, again with you just doing the best that you can. If your body is telling you that you can't, you know, eat certain things or you can't do a certain exercise, you do have to listen to it. Rest and recovery is just as important as the exercises that you're doing. So please make sure that when you are doing your exercises that you are making sure that you are resting. It is just as important. You're not being lazy. Don't feel guilty. Even I should listen to my own advice because I'm exactly the same for this. You could even also have an active rest day. So what I mean by an active rest day is that you don't do any strength training, you don't go to the gym, you don't do your home workouts, you just walk, just go for a nice walk. That is an active rest day. So always make sure that you are listening to your body, Jess, and obviously if that week you only do 2 workouts, it's absolutely fine. You've just got to do the best that you can under the circumstances, especially when it comes to your health, and your health is more important, and that's a sign that your body wants you to recover as well. Um, so um, so now obviously we've spoken before about like emotions and how that has impacted us. And obviously we know that emotions can trigger emotional eating, which obviously we've discussed in a previous Zoom. And also we've got Mike, who's coming on the call next Tuesday, who's overcome emotional eating, and he's a positive motivational speaker. He's been a coach in the past, so he is absolutely perfect and has proved that you can overcome emotional eating. And like I say, if you've had a stressful day, the kids, work, and you reach for comfort food and you're kind of celebrating, decide to indulge a little too much, these behaviors are completely normal. I go through them, and it's normal. No one is perfect, but that's when it becomes a habit that's when we derail our progress. If that's becomes a habit of I'm stressed, I eat cookies, or the kids are driving me saying I'll have a packet of crisps. If you're finding yourself that you're constantly feeling this emotion, and then a certain food is attached to that emotion, that's when we need to find, ways to distract ourselves and trying to break that cycle. So like I always say, distract yourself, clean, walk, do a workout, go out with the kids, walk. There's kind of things that we can do to kind of distract ourselves completely. Common emotional triggers for fat loss, stress eating. When life becomes a bit overwhelming, you'll feel it next week, Lauren. I'm telling you, you'll feel it next week. But we're going to overcome these urges. Even if you feel like you're going to turn to stress eating, get a snack box prepared. Get a snack box prepared of low calorie foods, jellies, popcorns, multi-pack chocolate, low calorie crisps that you can have on the go. So when you're feeling like you're getting that urge, reach the snack box and grab something from there. But obviously make sure you account them in your calories for the day. Eating out of boredom is quite easy because you're looking for something to do, and sometimes it's just easy to get a packet of crisps or some cookies. Celebration eating. This is one where food becomes like a kind of reward for social gatherings. Oh, I'm doing this tonight, so I'll just eat this, or I'm going for a wedding, so I can just eat what I want. And birthdays, obviously, we do enjoy the odd bit of cake, but again, that is also balance as well. So the kind of special occasions. So for very, very special occasion, I'll always say, enjoy yourself. Make sure you plan ahead for it, and just enjoy spending time with your family, especially when it's a special occasion. And obviously, frustration eating when you feel like progress is slowing down and you feel stuck or you're getting discouraged about the journey that you're on, which, like I say, it's so common to experience emotional eating, and it's just making sure that you know what triggers it. And sometimes it can be an emotion, not an emotion, an environment. For some people, it might be going to visit someone. For instance, I've got both my parents are in a care home for dementia, and it's awful, and it's really really sad. And sometimes being in certain environments can make us turn to food and experiencing something. So obviously, just being mindful about it and just being prepared is the best thing that I would suggest. And like I say, create non-food coping mechanisms when you feel like the emotions are starting to take over. Exercise, journaling, which is an amazing tool, reading, meditating, and even just talking to someone. And if you feel like you can't talk to a family member, use the academy. That is what it's there for. And it's, we are full of amazing women in that group, very supportive women. So, like I say, if you feel like you can't reach out to someone that you trust, that you love, a family member, always reach out to the academy, because that is what it's there for. And most importantly, the last one, practice self-compassion. And this is something that I think all of us do struggle with. Like, be kind to yourself when something doesn't go to plan. It's so easy to fall into like a cycle of guilt when we have a bad day, if kids are driving us insane, we're stressed at work. But self-compassion is so important for balance. It really is. So just learn to like forgive yourself. If you eat something off plan, like, no point dwelling on the past, and there's no point using that certain event to decide how the rest of the week's going to go. If you've had a bad day, we've had a bad day. Like, let it go. Like Elsa would on Frozen. Let it go. Move on. Okay? So don't let that one day, that one slip up, turn into days of not being on track. You just move on. It's happened. Forget about it. Move on. The next thing, the most important thing is how you come back from it. You get back on track. You drink your water. You move that little bit more. As always, focus on progress, not perfection, and positive self-talk. And I know it sounds really, really stupid, but sometimes we're so easy to be negative about ourselves. I knew I'd never do this. Oh, Lucky, I knew you'd eat this. Like, I was never going to be able to do it. I never do. I can never stick to plans. I can never. And we're so easy to go into that like place of negative thoughts. Like I say, I'll never reach my goal. Oh, it's going to take me ages. Karen's already lost such an amount. I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to reach that. Like, really practice focusing on like being more positive with yourself and saying things like, I'm on the right track. I know today's not been a good day, but setbacks happen. I'm trying my best. Just say that to yourself. I'm trying my best. And as long as you are trying your best and you're doing everything you can, like, that is all that, like, you can do. And those kind of little changes of positive talk, and everything else will help you achieve. Oh, I'm getting, and I'm like, will help you achieve and help you make this journey a hell of a lot more sustainable, and more balanced as well. So I think I mentioned this last week. Set realistic goals, be flexible, especially next week, when it comes to half term, and especially as it comes up to going over Christmas, because life just gets mental in the next few weeks. So really learn to be flexible. Set yourself, weekly mini goals, focus on small habits, like I've said, drinking more water, getting in, maybe 2 workouts instead of 3. And obviously, don't just focus on the scale, focus on the other non-scale victories that we always talk about. And like I say, allow flexibility, because you are going to need it. If you've had a bad day, adjust it and just keep going. And it's important to remember that progress is not linear. You're going to have bumps in the road. It's a bit like a roller coaster. You have your ups and downs, but as long as we are making, moving in the right direction, it doesn't matter about these bumps in the road, and about how, it's always how we overcome them. So before we finish, it's just important to remember that balance is key in, being successful on this journey. And before we move, obviously, I always open the floor for questions. If anyone's struggling with anything at the moment, it could be balance, it could be emotions, it could be absolutely anything that you're worried about. Yeah. Is there anything that anyone's struggling with? Anything that you're worried about? Because I know, like I say, with the Christmas, with a hard bloody term, which I'm glad to be finished this week. Is there anyone that's got any worries at all with anything? As long as we're all good, find the balance of things, not making things too overwhelming. And if you feel like you haven't got the balance and you feel like emotions are starting to take over, you need to look over at your kind of goals and things that you are doing week in, week out. And is there anything that you kind of can like change ever so slightly just to make it that little bit more sustainable? And like I say, it's just remember it's just not about perfection, it's about progress. And like I say, sometimes it's just important just to change things ever so slightly, be flexible, be patient with yourself, stay mindful, and like I say, just lean into the strategies that we've spoken about this evening. And as always, if you're struggling with anything emotionally or struggling with balance, just reach out to me personally or reach out to the group. I'm doing it all over Christmas, but need to keep. Yeah, that is hard. But Celia, also the thing is, you've got to understand that Christmas only comes around once a year. We have family that come round, and it's inevitable. And I'm going to say it: everyone will gain weight over Christmas. We're eating foods that are higher in carbs, higher in salt, slightly more calories. But the difference is making sure that the full 2 weeks of Christmas isn't just overindulging, overindulging, and overindulging. It's having Christmas and the odd days, but trying to do as much as you can during those days as well. Moving that little bit more, drinking water, like make sure that you are doing some exercises over Christmas. Like nothing just comes to a standstill. Like, yeah, get your steps in. Oh, Jess, I'm glad you can't wait to get started. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit worried at the start of this. I bet, because honestly, Jess is thinking, Jesus Christ, who is this Muppet on this bloody Zoom? But Celia and Lauren can vouch for me that it's not usually this chaotic. I think it's just been one of those days, to be absolutely honest with you. Lights going off, bloody cameras not working. Like, God is testing me today. Absolutely testing me. But Jess, we're all excited that you're going to get started. I mean, obviously, I'm speaking on behalf of the, like Lauren and Celia and the other people in the group, but honestly, I think it's the best kind of community that you're involved in. The way, the approach, the sustainability, and I genuinely think you will enjoy it. I have DIY at home. I have DIY at home stress. Yep, I'm the same. Meal prep has been a godsend. Yep, meal prep is absolutely key. So make sure you just plan ahead for when you know there's going to be a busy week, especially Lauren, you over half term. Make sure you've got things planned and prepped, ready. But no, Jess, I'm really glad that you're looking forward to it. We're so fortunate to have you. And obviously over the next few weeks, especially in January, I'm sure we'll be getting more and more people that are joining the academy. But yeah, apart from that, sorry for the late start. It's been a little bit of a longer one because of obviously all the bloody hiccups. But if there's nothing else, I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Next week will be less chaotic, hopefully, because obviously we've got Mike coming on. So if you can make Mike, it's next Tuesday at 8 p.m. He will be amazing. They're all getting recorded anyway, as usual. So if you can be there for that, please do. And also, just to finish off, I will be putting in tomorrow any questions that people want to ask, because I know we get a little bit, it's hard speaking out in public and speaking on Zoom and typing things in the chat. So I'm going to be asking people to send over any questions, and I'll be asking the questions from yourselves to make that a little bit easier. But apart from that, welcome, Jess. It's lovely to have you with us. Next week will be less chaotic, I promise you. And Lauren, good luck next week. Yay! And Celia, we're on the stone. We're going to get a stone next week. So Celia is so close to getting her first stone. So no pressure, Celia. And apart from that, guys, have the most amazing weekend. And as always, if you need anything, drop me a message or personally or in the group, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, guys.